I bring the biggest gun to the knife fight.
Police say rapper Kodak Black was among those wounded in the shooting.
Over the 2022 Super Bowl weekend, Kodak ended up finding himself in a bit of a scrape. There's a lot going on here. So Justin Bieber had just performed at a concert in Los Angeles, and since everyone was already there, we had some big stars in attendance. Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio, Quavo, basically anyone who's anyone was all hanging out. After the show, there was a huge after party to celebrate, and pretty much everybody was there as well. I'm talking from like Drake to Kodak. Now the issue is, with that many people in one spot with such a big mix of rappers, there are just bound to be some problems. For whatever reason, a fight broke out, and the whole thing got caught in 4K. So what really happened? Who really shot Kodak? And what did he say about this? After the after party, everybody was cooling outside, getting some pictures taken by the paparazzi. It was around 2:45 a.m. at this point, so things were settling down. Some people got into their cars to head home. Someone happened to be taking a video because when there are that many stars in one place, you'll just have that. The video focuses on one dude getting in his limo, but as soon as he turns to look, you can hear there's some kind of commotion going on. It seems that while the camera was turned away, some sort of fist fight broke out. When it finally pans back, Kodak is running towards the sidewalk. He starts stomping some dude who got knocked to the ground. At the same time, you could see a dude almost shielding himself behind a bigger guy who has something silver and shiny in his hand. That's when about 12 shots start ringing out, and you could see Kodak struggling to run away. By the time all the smoke clears, you could see that just one dude left there, lying on the sidewalk in front of a medical spa. Kodak's gone. The guy who had the weapon is gone, and there are crowds running away on either side. In the video, you can definitely see the shooter. He's wearing all black in the video, with a mask over his face, probably because he knew what he's about to do. Police reports confirm there are 4 victims, although there were only 2 found at the location of the incident. Apparently, the other 2 went to the hospital on their own. All 4 of the victims are thankfully in stable condition, but things could have been a lot worse. The ages range from 19 to 60, and it would make sense that the 60-year-old in the equation was just a bystander who wasn't actually involved in the fight. Kodak was among the people who got caught up in the altercation, receiving a shot to the leg and being taken to the hospital pretty quickly after everything went down. Kodak is okay, although he's definitely shaken up after the whole thing. TMZ also got footage of Kodak leaving the hospital just the other day, entering a van with the assistance of a walker. While they got video of the dude who escalated the situation by pulling out a weapon, there's really no suspect in the case just yet. The investigators have a general description of the guy, but he dashed pretty much immediately, and it'll probably be a while before we actually get any real news about the situation. But there's a bigger issue here. When the people involved are as high profile as Kodak Black, no one in the situation wants to come out looking like they're soft. Some people might say that Kodak shouldn't have gotten involved, but those same people would also be upset if he had just stood there. It doesn't look like Kodak got swung on first or anything like that. Probably just one of his homies who took the first swing, or maybe someone swung on his bro. Either way, the situation was dire. There are cameras everywhere. The second everything goes down, you know this is gonna be big news. Are you just gonna let Kodak and his homies stomp your boy out, or are you gonna put up a fight? That's what was going through the dude's head at this point, but that's also why the situation is so dangerous. It's like this: you don't want to look so bad you pull the toolie out. Meanwhile, you already know they got you on video. There's gonna be phone videos, Instagram lives, CCTV footage, everything. Dudes really do it all for a little bit of clout, just to save a little bit of face. You thought you were making the right move, but now here you are on video popping shots off at an international celebrity. There's not a real concrete motive yet either. It all kind of depends on who swung first. We don't know if it was a jealousy thing, or maybe some of Kodak's ops were at the function, or what was going on. All we know is that things escalated real fast, and now Kodak and 3 other people are in the hospital as a result. Kodak's made a few Instagram posts and tweeted a couple of times, but so far he really hasn't said anything about either of his injuries or about the ops who tried to get after him after the concert. The only thing he's had to say of note so far is that he's trying to get his track Drownin' to Diamond. He said, "If y'all get me an HBTL Diamond, we gonna give y'all a whole album together, little reunion on some turn shit. We 6-time platinum, nah B." Other than that, he's just kind of shared his support for the Bengals in the Super Bowl. That's basically it. Speaking of what's going on in social media, some Kodak fans are tweeting about this whole thing because honestly, they must be heartbroken. One fan said, "It's LA. He's an out-of-town guy. If he ain't connected to the right person out here, of course he's a target of a setup." Another user is responding to a lot of other comments which are trying to claim that the guy with the weapon was just acting in self-defense. He said, "What do you mean? The guy shooting is wearing all black, face mask and everything. So you telling me he was casually dressed like that and happened to also have a gun and meet Kodak, who was standing right next to his car with his crew, and then jump him? Alright." All the discourse on Twitter does actually bring up some really important questions. We've seen people get charged in situations like this when they were just there or target of the attack. That kind of thing has happened with Youngboy, and it could happen with Kodak too. Even though he was shot, he could always get caught with a charge for getting into a fight. And with his criminal history, that's not going to look too good in court. While then President Donald Trump gave out an absolutely bewildering pardon to Kodak back in the day for some of his crimes, it's not like those are expunged from the record or anything like that. He hasn't had any convictions overturned or anything. If a judge really wanted to throw the book at Kodak, then probably could. Then there's also the question of motive. Was it actually just a bad, wrong place at the wrong time kind of deal, or could this have been planned hit on Kodak? Was it some ops chasing clout because they knew exactly where Kodak was going to be, or was it unrelated crew that Kodak's never dealt with before who they thought were going to be hitting an easy lick? See, Kodak's actually about it. And even if those were his normal ops, it could always be people who were just trying to pick a price on Kodak's head. At the end of the day, the problem is they might not actually have been coming for Kodak's life. They could have known that Kodak would throw hands to defend himself and his homies, and they also could have known that that may lead to him getting in trouble with the law, or getting him locked away for a decent amount of time if charges actually stick. At this stage in the game though, it really looks like Kodak came out the victor, even if he did get shot. What do y'all think though? Is there actually any reasonable motive for how this went down? Or is it just some crazy stuff starting to pop off at a less than ideal time for Kodak? Let us know what's up down in the comments, and make sure you peep this next vid if you're in the mood for some more rap news.